Welcome to State Insurance USA Cares podcast, where we celebrate the heart of our communities. Each episode, we highlight local charities and nonprofits who are bringing hope, help, and healing to those who need it most. Get ready to be inspired by the amazing stories of people making a difference, because together, we care.
Well, hi, and welcome to the State Insurance Cares podcast. We're the charitable giving arm of State Insurance USA. I'm Gail Langner. And I think we all know that if you're going to start a business or try and grow a business, that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. It really could help if you had an experienced mentor. That's for sure. It could really make a difference. So today, really blessed to have Bill Robertson. He's the chapter chair of S-corp Southwest Florida on with us today. So Bill, thanks so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure being here, and I'm excited to share the news about S-corp. We're a good kept secret.
Well, tell us about it. Well, how did you get involved?
Well, actually, it's because of my corporate life. I started out from school. I got hired by a Fortune 100 company, which I worked for 30 years, which I retired from. But along the way, I got involved in owning my own companies in that, and which over time turned into a portfolio of 5 different entities. So when it came time to liquidate those and move on, I had a lot of free time, and I was used to mentoring. That's what I did in my own companies. That's what I did in corporate life. So I looked around and discovered S-corp. Actually, I started out with S-corp in New England because that's where my corporate life was. But then family kind of drew me down to the Florida area. And with that, I discovered S-corp down there. I've been with S-corp almost 7 years now.
Okay.
I've been the chair for the last 4. So it has been a very exciting, enriching, and, challenging time, especially with the way business conditions are and the things that have changed in Florida.
Mm-hmm. I've actually taken a couple of classes with S-corp, but for those people that don't really know what S-corp does, could you explain what it is?
Oh, sure. S-corp is actually a national organization. We're 60 years old nationally. We have about 8,000 volunteers nationally. The chapter in our own backyard, which I cover Lee and Hendry's County, is a little over 50 years old.
Wow, that's amazing.
We have about 25 mentors with us right now. And what we really focus on are startup, small, and medium-sized companies. I mean, when you think about it and you're starting a company and you're ready to kind of get engaged with not only the taxation situation, am I an LLC? Am I an S-corp? What should I do?
Right.
Wouldn't it be nice to have somebody walk the path with you that has already been there and maybe done it more than once, as would be in my case?
Right.
So what we do marketing. We are on the internet as S-corp.org. So anybody interested in getting a little bit of hand-holding, working on what your plan might be, is it feasible? Is it profitable? What is the path I need to take to get where I want to go with my particular wish in a company? You can go to the website, request a mentor, and we will assign you to an individual that may have your background right away,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe an individual that you can share your ideas and concept with. And we're not afraid to call in co-mentoring. As an example, if I get somebody that really wants to launch a major marketing campaign, yeah, I know marketing and I know the differences there, but things have changed since I've been in business. So we have an individual that, and we have more than just one, that are very strong in this category. So we could come in and we would co-mentor and talk to you about, what's your choices here? What can we do in Facebook? What can we do in TikTok? What can we do with Google? What kind of dashboards do you need to look at to see how your marketing is going? So we have a lot of support teams back and forth, being able to do that, to get you where you want to go as far as how you define success in your business. Business to us can be several different things. It could be an individual coming to us. Um, my kids are in sports a lot. I need some extra money to help. And I want to do kind of a little side hustle, maybe. I work a full-time job, but I want to do this. And I'm interested in doing, well, we can help you set that up. Take a look at what kind of money is feasible to come from this for the time that you're going to invest. How is that going to work for you? Or maybe you're deciding that I've always had this idea about starting my own company. What is that involved? What do I have to do for that? And do I have enough money to start this?
Right.
And to be profitable for me? I mean, those are all excellent questions to bring to us in regards to helping you figure out what all that might look like. I think the main road that we lean towards when we talk to individuals is really the first session, is that whatever you fill out on the request form to talk to a mentor doesn't necessarily translate into what you actually need.
Right.
So that first conversation is a heavy listening session. We want to hear where you want to go. We want to hear what you have in mind. We want to talk about what your long-range plan for this company might be, and is it going to be a full-time job? Are you supporting your whole family with this, and all those kinds of good things.
Mm-hmm.
I think the two things that normally come from those kinds of conversations is that we never feel that it's one and done. You come to us, we're not a Google search. We are the folks that walk the path with you to help you in making sure that you have all the information available to make a good decision, or a decision that you feel is best for how you want your company to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think no matter the size of the business, ones that have been established for a while, ones that are starting up, or ones that are just thinking about it, Gail, the two things I come away with every time is that, number one, we need a plan. We got to figure out what your roadmap looks like. We got to figure out really where you're going and what kind of time frame you need to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that, we really got to talk about a business plan. Now, a lot of people have heard of those, and sometimes they get afraid in the verbiage. A business, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to do that. Well, we can help you through that. We don't necessarily get involved in the physical writing of the plan, but the plan is your roadmap, no matter if you're an established business or you're one starting up, or you haven't done this for a while and you want to come back to it. It is the one tool as an entrepreneur that holds you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else that looks in the mirror with you in the morning and say, hey, I was successful today. I had good sales. Things are going well. Or it's on the other side. Wow, I really did. Wow, my cash flow is not where I need it to be. I got to figure out what I do next.
Mm-hmm.
I also tell my clients, choosing not to do a business plan, you might as well go out to Vegas, because if you want to take a risk, there's a good place to take a risk out there.
Right.
You don't want to take it in business. It's tough enough as it is. I think of business, especially in today's climate that we're faced with in our local markets. It's a tough market to a certain extent. So
Sure.
You look at it, it's almost like nailing Jello to a tree.
Mm-hmm.
You think you have it in the right position. You think you have it where you want it. And along come tariffs. Along come new taxes. Along come distributor disruption. Along comes another hurricane. Along comes whatever along comes.
Right.
And you need an alternative. You need something to look at to say, okay, this isn't working. This is what I need to do differently. And this is what that might look like and how that needs to be.
I know that I don't know, you've probably seen the same thing where you see a restaurant open and then 6 months later they're closed, and you go, weren't you prepared for summer? When the snowbirds are gone? I mean, where did you go wrong?
I totally agree. I think sometimes, and this is the advantage of coming and talking to SCORE.
Mm-hmm.
We have real world experience. So we talk through those kind of things. We talk through, okay, you have summer coming. What is your game plan?
Right.
I think oftentimes, and I mean this a little tongue in cheek, they think of being a business owner, an entrepreneur, as getting their own ATM machine. Some of it look at it as that, well, I can work this part-time, I can make some money, but I don't really have to pay a lot of attention to it.
Right.
I'm afraid that's not the way it works.
No.
Business is a 24/7 job.
Right.
It comes to you day or night. There's nobody else to ask questions of but you. And the ATM machine can be good for you, but it's also the concept that you have to have some retained earnings along the way for the summer months. A piece of equipment breaks down. I want to expand. What does that look like? How much money do I need to have? One of the things that comes out of your business plan and a tool to look at in developing that, I use it all the time. I go over to YouTube and I simply look up business canvas model. Business canvas model will give you a 20-minute video in all the elements that are involved in a business plan. Now, you certainly can come back to SCORE. You come back to score.org and you type in business plan. It's going to give you a very detailed description of what a business plan looks like. We have a lot of folks now with new tools out there. AI is one of them. Well, I'm going to do my business plan with my AI, and I mean, it's going to be great. Well, it is. Verbally, it'll be excellent, but is it really yours? Have you really thought through the difficulties of what you're going to deal with?
Right.
And have you done the second piece? The second piece is the feasibility study. The feasibility study comes out of your business plan in the relationship to all the hard costs that are involved to run that business. And your business cost is certainly going to be different in my business cost because of my overhead, because of my type of business, because the way I want to expand. The cost of materials for my business are different than yours. I need that kind of information because from that, it helps me drive who I am as a business, what my profitability picture looks like. The other question we get constantly, Gail, we are not a funding organization.
Mm-hmm.
I am a nonprofit.
Right.
I don't have that kind of money.
Right.
But we have those that need that for their business. In a startup, you really have to have the business plan and the feasibility to know what kind of money and what your roadmap looks like to go out to the marketplace and look for funding. Now,
Right.
we can help with that, but we need those two pieces so that we can help you develop that popular elevator pitch. It's like going fishing. If I'm going to go fishing, I've got to put something on the hook that really interests the fish, the individual, the bank, the lending institution, the grant, whoever it may be, of, wow, I'm worth talking to. Hey, I've done some homework here. I know what my hard costs are going to look like. I know where my company's going to be pretty much in a year. And I almost know where it's going to be where I want it to be in 5 years. That's a major, major difference today, because when you walk in there, we have to remember they don't know us.
Right.
So we have to put our best foot forward. And the way they do that is really that first 5 minutes telling the overview of who we are. We can always bring in more documentation in our business plan, but that elevator pitch, that first few minutes is how we set the tone of who we are as a business.
Right. You just mentioned you're a nonprofit. Obviously, that's the reason that State Insurance Cares donated to you. When you and I had a chat earlier, you mentioned that your funding has been cut. How is that, your federal funding, how is that going to affect your going forward helping prospective business people?
We're not going to let it affect it. I've pretty much taken the position that we're going to do whatever we can do without funding, and we're kind of working on some program ideas, working with others, and I can't tell you how grateful we are at our SCORE chapter in regards to your company stepping up and being one of our supporters now.
And we're happy to do it.
That issue really came from almost 2 years ago. Back in 25, we received funding from Congress as a grant through the SBA, and it's paid in arrears is how the system works. So with the way things have been, it has taken up until about a week ago, it's taken a year and a half for the in arrears for 25 to be paid. So
Mhm.
we don't know what 26 is going to look like. We don't know what 27 is look like. As a businessman, and that's my background, I had an opportunity to do a zero budget. A zero budget means here's what I need, but I don't have any money.
Right.
So we've been aggressively looking around for supporters to help us with our mission.
Mhm.
We still have funding enough through National to be able to do some marketing. So we have our website. So we receive clients through the website. We're going to continue to do that. We have a strong outreach program for the Babcock Ranch region. We are members of the Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce. We're
Mhm.
members of the chamber over in Bonita Springs and Estero. So we're not rolling up and just hiding someplace. We're a business.
Right.
We have to adapt to what's going on. So
Right.
we have been reaching out, looking for additional supporters.
Okay.
If you go to our website, there is information there on how you might be able to donate to SCORE. And quite frankly, it's not a pay to play game. We don't ask our clients for any kind of funding whatsoever. We don't come back to them and say, geez, you're successful. Can you come in? That's not how this works. We are a nonprofit. We look to outside businesses that, such as yours, that are gracious enough to come and support our message and help us in what we're doing. Our main focus right now, I believe, is in regards to education. Education both for our clients and education as far as our volunteers are concerned. There
Mhm.
are so many new things coming to the marketplace, and I'll just use AI as the first example of what I mean. I stepped out of the market a few years ago, and yet I've been very involved in these meetings and catching up with what AI means, what AI
Right.
can do for us, and how important it's going to be. And that's the piece that I want to bring as far as our volunteers are concerned. But our clients, if you're going to start a business, wouldn't it be nice to talk to somebody that's been a CPA, knowing how you should set up your books, what that
Mhm.
should look like, what things are important for taxes? And oh, by the way, how should I form my company? Should I be an LLC? Should I be an S-corp? What does it require me to do to be a nonprofit? What does it
Mhm.
look like if I want to have somebody come in with me and I'd like to be a partnership?
Mhm.
How do I develop that? Where do I go to get that kind of information?
Mhm.
That's the caliber of mentors that we have at the local SCORE chapter. We can talk about those issues. We can talk about where do you go to find more information or what that might look like and how you develop your success as far as your business is concerned.
Mhm.
I'll say also in developing success in business, I came from developing 5 different companies, all small startups for the most part. When I'm working with an individual, I always caution myself to think of success in their eyes. My perception of success might be entirely different. I may, because of my background, think, oh my gosh, this company could be 5 more DBAs in doing business as in different directions. They could be this, they could be that. And in 5 years, wow, what could this be? I try to remember that's not necessarily the
That may not
vision.
be what they want.
That may not be it. That may not be their vision of how
Right.
they want to do this and where they want to go. So
Right.
we caution ourselves along the way to, take a step back, listen to what they have to say. What is their vision? And I think it develops somewhat over time as they see their businesses grow and change.
Mhm. As we wrap up here, Bill, I was actually just thinking about Blake and how he could really help with new businesses. They approach our commercial department and have no idea what kind of insurance they need. I think, oh wow, the wealth of knowledge that Blake has. Well, what that makes me come to as we close is, could you use more volunteers? Could you use different kinds? Oh, you laugh. It's for
Yeah.
sure you could use more volunteers, right?
I could use all of everything.
Okay.
I could use more funding. I could use more volunteers. Yes, we always are in a need for volunteers. Our organization is retired executives, and I must remind folks that life happens. Things happen where they need to be away for a while. life happens in regards to their health. So a lot of different things. And as a member of S-corp, you can be on pause for a while and be away to take care of family issues or health issues or whatever it may be. So we are constantly looking for anybody that has somewhat of a background in business, that has time. And I would liken it, their time, if to give them a concept. If you ever play a round of golf, that's normally about 4 hours.
4 hours, right?
If you gave us 4 hours and were involved in the mentoring piece and also considered in being on one of our committees that was to deal with education or training, or if you've done a lot of presentations, that would be very helpful. All those kind of things. And you can apply to be a member of S-corp right at our website. There's a volunteer listing there as well. Go in, fill out the application. We'll give you all the detail. There's a lot of it right there. You'll probably get a chance to chat with me because I like talking to all the individuals that are going to come and be a part of our chapter.
Sure.
We'd be excited to have you. We really would. And that opens the door for all communities. We lack, I think, and has been troublesome to me that we don't do more in the Hispanic community. I'm very pleased to say I've been able to recruit some individuals to come in and be a part of that now. I think it's important to us to have the ability of speaking Spanish, and we have that ability. So don't let that hold you back, or don't let that be a stumbling block. We're glad to have you.
Oh, Bill, thank you. We could actually just sit here and talk for a really long time. It has been so, no, it's been so interesting to find out more about S-corp and to find out what you do and what a blessing you are to so many people. So I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day today.
Listen, anytime. We're more than happy to share the story of S-corp. It's just, it's been kept a secret for way too long. And there's so much more out there that we could be doing. No question.
Well, with you belonging to all these chambers, and you and I chatted before, Fort Myers Beach Chamber is very near and dear to my heart. So with you getting out there and letting people know what a wonderful resource you are. So thank you again, Bill Robertson from S-corp, Southwest Florida. And thank you for taking the time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for joining us on State Insurance USA Cares. We hope today's story uplifted and inspired you. If you'd like to support or learn more about the incredible work happening in your community, visit stateinsuranceusa.com or call 239-567-9992. You can also visit CaboWaboGym.com. Until next time, be sure to let your sun shine and keep sharing good and positive vibes wherever the waves take you.